Welcome ladies and gentlemen, girls and guys to another video. Before we start, I would like to say thank you to all who have subscribed to my channel. Thanks to all my viewers as well. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I guess you know what to do. Search for the subscribe button and click or tap on it. In the last video we saw how we picked the cashews from the orchard, saw kokum. We also picked berries to eat and for pickling as well, and saw some wild stuff. We also saw how the cashew apples were separated from the cashew nuts. Later, we saw how the cashew apples were stomped to get juice and boiled to finally get urak and feni. If you haven't seen the video yet, go check it out. Link is below in the description and at the end of the video. Today is the turn of the cashew nuts. So without wasting any more time, let's start from the de-seeding of the cashew nuts. This is where the cashew apple and the cashew nuts go their own separate ways. The cashew nuts are then collected in sacks and sold at the local processing units or even at government purchase outlets wherever they get the best price for their hard work. But there are some cashew nuts from the total haul that are kept to enjoy and savor at home. Cashew nuts fetch a good price, and so the collectors prefer to sell all of the cashew nuts they gather. Especially it was so in the earlier times when money was scarce. Today we see what happens with these cashew nuts that are kept for self-consumption. We see how the locals roast their cashew nuts and then laboriously and gently crack them open to get the prized nut, which is so famous. It starts with the drying of the cashew nuts in the open for a day or so. Then we need a good fire. As you can see, the best way to roast cashew nuts is to use coconut palm leaves to make a fire. With palm leaves, you can sort of control the fire. Also, since palm leaves are lengthy, they are good to give heat and flame from the upper side for the cashew nuts to roast well. It is also important to find the right surface to roast the cashew nuts. If you roast them in soft mud or sand, they won't roast well, mostly on the underside. You need a hard surface for good roasting. But you can't roast them indoors or in the balcony because it sprays a lot of the dark brown acid called anacardic acid. When roasted, it will mess the entire floor and the walls too probably. And your mom or dad or whoever is the head of the house will mess with your bones. There is another method to roast them. Take a metal pan, make holes on the bottom, make a fireplace like the good old ones with 3 stones and keep the tin pan on top of it. Drop the cashew nuts in the pan and light a fire underneath. You can even use a metal sheet or one of those palm oil tin dabbas, sliced in half, but be careful of injury, with holes in it. The holes allow for the seepage of the anacardic acid. But be careful, the fire will keep getting bigger the more the oil seeps, as you just saw. But on bare earth, I feel is the best. Spread the cashew nuts evenly and then light a fire with coconut palm leaves and try to spread the fire evenly all around. Make sure you stir the cashew nuts so that all are roasted evenly. If you look closely, you can see sort of fireworks firing up in the fire. This is because of the anacardic acid. When heated, it releases with power from the nut. It is very important to stay at a safe distance when roasting cashew nuts, or else you can see yourself at the doctor's clinic. After the cashew nuts are roasted, you may notice a dark oily substance in and around the roasting area. This oily substance is the same anacardic acid, and it has a very good waterproofing quality. That is why in olden times and even today, local fishermen use this dark acid to waterproof their canoes and dinghies. This acid is extracted from the cashew nut kernel. If you happen to go by the riverside or the beach and you see any local boats or canoes, check it out. You will see the acid applied to it. It will be blackish or a dark brown color. Nowadays, most have fiber boats, but if you see a wooden one, you will surely get to observe the acid. This acid is also used as varnish on tiled roof house wooden structures to keep termites away. The acid was much more affordable to the locals than the oil paints. Sometimes you find cashew nuts that fall down by themselves, and if not picked for a few days, they turn from grey to brown. This is because they are exposed to the hot sun. They are suntanned. These cashew nuts are called suraibi or suraini. These are not roasted but split open and eaten directly. And from the kernels of such cashew nuts, the anacardic acid is extracted for waterproofing. I still remember my grandfather doing it. The hot sun somewhat roasts it enough to be eaten without a problem. But sometimes the anacardic acid taste does linger in the mouth, and these can also cause minor skin harm around your mouth if not eaten carefully. Then you also have the green cashew nuts or the baby cashew nuts called focaccia, the ones who have just started to grow. The seeds are bigger than the fruit at the start, and later it is the opposite. These focaccia are then split open and the nut inside is eaten directly or used to make a tasty curry. The nut inside is called bibe. The Portuguese at the time brought in the cashew trees all the way from Brazil to arrest the soil erosion problem. That time nobody knew that there would be an industry for the cashew liquor or cashew nuts. It was purely to address a natural issue. Back then, and even up until the past century I guess, solutions were found within nature. Cashew trees are low maintenance. They grow on the hills, hill slopes, orchards, plains, basically anywhere. You don't need to water them. They make do with whatever water their roots can get from the ground. The only maintenance they need is cutting weed and other bushes that grow below, around and on it. That in fact also helps in collection of cashews during the cashew season. Orchard owners every year clear all the bushes and weeds before they start collection. Sometimes you also have the pest infestation that needs to be taken care of, but otherwise it is a very low maintenance crop. This is one reason why this tree was brought in by the Portuguese, but then it went on to become one of the top industry in Goa. The fresh green tree branch is used to put the fire out when you feel the nuts have roasted well. Now starts the splitting open of the cashew nuts. It is a delicate process. You need to hit it right and with the right power. If not, the nut turns to powder. If you get a perfect unbroken nut, you're a hero. Look at all the patience and hard work that goes into getting the prized nut. As you know by now, cashews come in two colors, yellow and red. And also, if you look at the bottom of the video, you will see a subscribe button also in red. You have to go there and click on it for some authentic cashewy feeling. I'm just kidding. Well, that's the end of the cashew nut episode. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, do ask. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Until next time, take care and stay safe.